that tells you the value they place on theatre. Yet when they came here, because they know what we can do with theatre, they never built a theatre here. And that should even give us a warning, sound a warning to us that, hey, that thing is very important. That thing is the key. Because if you want to unlock a person's mind, it's theatre that does that. In so many countries, theatre is so paramount an element in their development paradigm to a point where you cannot joke with actors. You cannot joke with theatre. That's why for them, theatre is not just a building, it's a movement. And we should, as a country, begin to see that. So the establishment should actually, acknowledge our challenges and be able to, help us with infrastructure, with amenities, with training, with, even curriculum in our schools.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Business Live. Coming up, informal cross-border trade between Ghana and its neighboring countries increases to 31 billion cedis in the first 3 quarters of 2025.
Informal cross-border trade between Ghana and her trade land neighbors was worth 31 billion Ghana cedis, or $2.3 billion. That is 6% of Ghana's total trade.
We shall be discussing the policy changes that will make formal trade more competitive with informal channels. Also in this bulletin, Joy Business and the Super Morning Show set to host a high-level dialogue on the future of Ghana's poultry industry tomorrow, July 16. We will be joined by a head of business to tell us more about it. Later on the Joy Business Van, we feature Ghanaian-owned retail distribution and import enterprise, Win Yami, which is expanding its footprint in the consumer market. We have details of this and more for you. Please stay.
For many entrepreneurs,
Business Live on Joy News is brought to you by EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank, and Telecel, connecting energies.
Thanks so much for your time. I am Pious, Kojo, Backah, and looking at our stories. Informal cross-border trade between Ghana and its 3 neighboring countries reached 31 billion cedis in the first 3 quarters of 2025, exceeding the 20.1 billion cedis recorded through the same period. Now, this is according to the Ghana Statistical Service. Speaking at a press conference on the informal cross-border trade for Q1 of 2025, government statistician Dr. Hassan Idrisu said the figures underscore the scale and importance of informal trade across Ghana's borders. More in this report.
Ghana's informal cross-border trade with its neighboring countries, Ivory Coast, Burkina Faso and Togo, continue to outpace formal trade. New data from the Ghana Statistical Service shows informal trade reached 31 billion Ghana cedis between the first and third quarters of 2025, representing 6% of Ghana's total trade during the period. Government statistician Dr. Hassan Idrisu says the figures demonstrate the significant contribution of informal trade to the economy that went unrecorded.
Between January and September 2025, informal cross-border trade between Ghana and her trade land neighbors was worth 31 billion Ghana cedis, or $2.3 billion. That is 6% of Ghana's total trade, both formal and informal, with the entire world over the same period. It is also 2.93% of GDP. Think about that. An activity that was officially invisible turns out to be 1 cedi in every 17 of our national trade, while formal trade with these 3 countries was 20.1 billion Ghana cedis.
The report indicates that Ghana maintained trade surpluses in both formal and informal trade. However, the informal trade surplus narrowed sharply in the third quarter.
Ghana maintained a trade surplus, meaning we exported more than we imported from these 3 countries in both formal and informal trade in every quarter of the first 3 quarters of 2025 that we collected data on. But please watch the trend in informal trade. We observed that the surplus peaked at 665.3 million Ghana cedis in the second quarter of 2025. And then it contracted to just 49.3 billion Ghana cedis in the third quarter. The surplus is still there, but it has become thin.
The report also highlights Ghana's persistent food trade deficit with its neighbors, which doubled in the first quarter.
Ghana consistently recorded food trade deficits with her neighbors, and it doubled over the period from about 400 million Ghana cedis in the first quarter of 2025 to about 800 million Ghana cedis in the third quarter. Food deficit, meaning that we import more food than we export food. And the other finding too is that even that gap is worsening over the quarters, and that's worrying. Over the same period, our non-food trade surplus narrowed from 1 billion Ghana cedis to 800 billion Ghana cedis.
To strengthen cross-border trade management, the service passed some recommendations.
Now, for government and regulators, it will be good to invest in local production and value chains in the border regions, so Ghana retains more value at home and steadies a trade balance that is showing volatility. It would also be ideal to upgrade roads, markets, and facilities at the busiest crossings. It will be useful to make registration and licensing simple and affordable for small, high-frequency traders, so the path into formal channels or system is an open door, not a wall.
The Ghana Statistical Service says the findings should serve as a basis for policies that encourage formalization, improve livelihoods, and create jobs, rather than crack down on informal traders.
Joining us for a conversation on the back of this revelation is economist Professor Peter Quartey. Thank you very much, sir, for agreeing to speak to us here on Business Live. And first off, what's making informal trade more attractive than formal trade right now? Is it about tariff delays at the ports, documentation, or what?
Thank you, and good evening to your discerning viewers. Well, certainly, Ghana's economy is largely informal, and we understand why that is the case. The formal trade has a lot of bureaucracy. It is capital intensive, and also the delays itself that cause formal trade to be more difficult for the small-scale trader or the small-scale businessman. So high taxes, registration, and other legal requirements, etc. Whereas the ease to which one can easily enter into formal trade is well known. So that certainly accounts for the difference in formal and informal trade.
I see. And this statistics, if it's anything to go by, reflects 2025's performance. And over the period, we've seen, government review most of the taxes. So if you say that taxes are largely contributable to what we are witnessing as a result of, informal sector trade being, attractive compared to what we are witnessing in the formal sector, what sort of justification is that really?
Well, there's been a reduction, but it's still high by African standards. our VAT rate is about 20%, whereas in other countries, the average is around 15, 16%. So it is still high by African standards. But that said, a lot of the informal trade either don't pay taxes or they pay taxes, or they pay very little taxes. Then certainly also the capital involved. Some can just, with a few thousands of cedis, get involved in informal trade. Whereas for formal trade, you need a lot of capital, you need a lot of money to engage in formal trade. So all of this accounts for, and the issue of large numbers, very small traders, but the number of people involved is huge. So when you compound this, it becomes bigger than formal trade.
So what policy changes would immediately make formal trade more competitive with informal channels? Should government try to formalize this 31 billion cedis or regulate it differently, you think?
Oh yeah, the formal has to be certainly reviewed. We need to look at the issue of taxes, issue of providing credit, transportation, easy access to transport, and even cost of transport and cost of logistics, etc. And then for the informal sector, we certainly have to regularize this. We certainly have to register them. We certainly have to, find a way of formalizing whatever activity they are engaging in without hurting their businesses.
Professor Peter Kojo, thank you very much for your time here on Business Live. We are grateful having you.
From customer service. Please revalidate your account by texting your Ghana card number to 0500,000 247.
Hey, Abili, wabadim.
Madam, give me the numbers behind your ATM card. I'm calling from the head office.
An email was delivered across to our customers this morning.
Confirm if this is your bank account. 100,100,100.
Thanks for sending your bank card details.
Send the OTP now to avoid cancellation.
EcoBank will never call, email, send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card, or Ghana card details.
Don't get played. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hello, please, I'm calling from Customer Experience Center.
Transform your business ideas into success stories with Telecel Business. Choose from a wide range of products and services tailor-made to drive your business. Call 0302-233-4040 or email to business@telecel.com.gh to sign up today. Telecel Business, connecting opportunities, connecting goals, connecting businesses. Telecel, connecting energies.
Hello, my name is Pamela from customer service. Please revalidate your account by texting your Ghana card number to 0500,247.
Hey, Abili, wabedim.
Madam, give me the numbers behind your ATM card. I'm calling from the head office.
An email was delivered across to our customers this morning.
Confirm if this is your bank account. 100,100,100.
Thanks for sending your bank card details.
Send the OTP now to avoid cancellation.
EcoBank will never call, email, send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card, or Ghana card details.
Don't get played. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hello, please, I'm calling from Customer Experience Center.
Hello again, welcome back to Business Live. Now, the Joy Business, in partnership with the Super Morning Show, is set to host a high-level dialogue on the future of Ghana's poultry sector tomorrow, July 16. The forum will bring together key players in the poultry value chain to discuss how to reduce Ghana's dependence on imported chicken and build a competitive local industry. The dialogue will also assess the progress made so far, the challenges still holding back local producers, and what must be done to scale beyond the current intervention. Head of Joy Business, Nana Benny Brown-Addo, joins me in studio to tell us all about it tomorrow. Nana, so first off, I'm grateful to have you on.
Thank you.
Good to see you, my boss. Yeah. Now, I just want you to tell us why it's become important for us to have this conversation tomorrow.
Well, so I mean, backstage we're discussing why the issue of poultry is so much importance to everybody. Yeah. I mean, I remember growing up, you needed to wait for a funeral, a party,
or even
Christmas before you eat chicken. But today, almost, particularly for those of us who are in the city, almost every single day we eat chicken.
Yeah.
And so the issue of poultry has become such an important topic for everybody. I mean, wherever you are. But the critical thing is that 13% of what we need, and that's very, very, very
woeful.
The fact that we are producing locally only 12 to 13% of what we produce. There's been several attempts by successive government since 1992 to try and address the challenge. The most current, that's of course for the ruling government, is the Akufo-Addo, which is under the Feed Ghana program. I think that the government is doing something to try and address the issue, but we all know that since last week, there's been a lot of media That is important, because ultimately what is important is that as a country we become sufficient in poultry production.
And that even fits into my next question, which has to do with the topic about having to discuss whether Ghana can feed itself.
Exactly.
The future of poultry beyond Akufo-Addo. So tell us more about it. What went into that? Interesting topic you have there.
Yeah, so like I was telling you, we are looking at the way forward. And I also mentioned that we've had several interventions, some of them not specifically targeted at poultry, but looks generally at the agri sector. So, for instance, we've had the Food and Agriculture Sector Development Policy. Right. We've had the Medium-Term Agriculture Sector Plan. And then we came to Rearing for Food and Jobs. Then we have the National Broiler Revitalization Project. And now we have Akufo-Addo. So you can see that we have been making an attempt to try and address the gap that exists. But obviously, there's a problem. Yeah. Okay. And so, because we have not done well in addressing the problem, that's why we are asking that can Ghana ever feed itself, particularly looking at the poultry question. The chairman of the CEO of the Greater Accra Regional Poultry Farmers Association, Ali Mohammed. We have Edith farming, processing, marketing, and all that. We have the CEO of the Agri Impact Project, Dr. Akwe. We also have Mr. Raymond Dente. Mr. Raymond Dente is actually leading an intervention funded by the MasterCard Foundation, the Ministry of Food and Agri, to develop a master plan for the poultry industry. We're also looking at getting somebody to speak on the funding aspect of it. That's fine, interesting as well. So tomorrow we are good to go. You can confirm to us all is set. But at the end of the discussion, what's going to be the take-home message? Yeah, so the take-home message is what should we do, okay, as a country to be able to become self-sufficient in poultry production. We cannot continue to rely on imported poultry. You're going to be live on Joy 99.7 FM here on the Joy News channel and all our social media platforms, I guess. And it starts at what time? It starts at 9:30. All right. Thank you very much, Nana. You're welcome. So that's my boss, Nana Akufo-Addo, joining me in studio for this great conversation. Now, we want to take the Joy Business van right about now from a modest beginning to building a growing presence in retail, distribution and imports. Awini Yamin's journey reflects the resilience and ambition of Ghanaian entrepreneurship. Today on the Joy Business van, we explore how the company behind the Memo shopping malls have navigated a competitive business environment, the lessons learned along the way, and its vision for the future.
For many entrepreneurs, the dream is not just to start a business, but to build one that stands the test of time. Awenyame, the company behind Memo Shopping Malls, is one such success story. From humble beginnings as a local enterprise, it has grown into a thriving retail and distribution business, serving thousands of customers through its supermarket operations and supply chain network. At the heart of this growth is CEO Mercy Adochim. Her entrepreneurial journey began immediately after school, not in retail, but in baking.
While schooling, I was baking bread. I met this woman, a sister and a mother at the catering school. And she was so good. She was baking bread, supplying Kolebu and Rich Hospital by then, way back 95, 96. So I learned the bread baking from her. When I was working with her, I learned a lot. So I started my own, something small in the house, for the cocoa sellers and the tea sellers around the area, North Ganesha. And I was able to do it big.
The bakery quickly flourished, transforming Mercy into one of Accra's leading suppliers. Success in baking soon opened another chapter as she ventured into the restaurant business, managing two thriving enterprises at the same time.
The restaurant was doing so well. Cantamanto, I used to do variety. People buy a lot. By 12, 1 o'clock, the shop, people will be there, food will finish. If you come 12 o'clock, you just come to buy.
Then, everything changed.
I was in the house getting ready to go to work, and they called me that there was a fire outbreak in the shop, the restaurant. And that was the end of the restaurant.
A devastating fire destroyed her restaurant. For months, Mercy stayed home, uncertain about what came next. But giving up was never an option. Encouraged by her husband, she turned her attention to opportunities in the fast-moving consumer goods market.
So he was like, why, you don't want to go into that business? I said, no, I love it. I love business. I'm born into it. So anything, I don't want to be idle, doing only the bread business, because I wanted to add more. And that is where I started the open market business.
The move proved to be a turning point. Her FMCG business expanded rapidly, prompting her to relocate operations to Makola, one of Ghana's busiest commercial hubs.
In Makola, it was big, because you know Makola is Makola. A lot of people are there, more than CMB at that time. CMB wasn't that busy at that time, so people were buying any stock you put in the shop, get finished a day. It was big business in CMB in Makola at that time.
As demand grew, so did the challenges. Space became scarce, and managing the growing business was becoming increasingly difficult. It was at that moment that her late mother stepped in with an idea that would change everything.
My late mom came to tell me that there is a shop close to St. Teresa's School, right opposite, new shops. I should get one. And I said, oh, ma. In fact, in Makola, I'm doing so well. And I have a space too in CMB baking then. And she said that anytime I come to your shop, it's busy, choked. People queue and buy, and the place is small in Makola. So you don't have a place to keep most of your stocks. Why is it that you won't take the shop at St. Teresa's School opposite, right? And the price is good as well.
Mercy was hesitant at first, but her mother remained convinced, repeatedly urging her to think bigger. She kept asking,
are you not taking the shop? You don't want to go and pay, I'll go and pay for you. She did the same business I did. This provisions business, FMCG, that's what my mom did. So she kept on asking me, this shop, I called Ima. Oh, why is it I'm talking, you're not listening to me? And that is a turning point now.
That mother's advice became the foundation of a bold new vision, one that gave birth to Memo shopping malls and marked the beginning of Awenyame's remarkable transformation into one of Ghana's growing retail success stories.
And that's it for Business Live for today. I am Pious, Kojo, Backah. Grateful serving you. Do enjoy the rest of our programs. And we have more stories when you log on to myjoyonline.com/business.
Live on Joy News was brought to you by EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank, and Telecel, connecting energies.
Hello beautiful people, welcome once again to Home Tips with Mira, where we learn about home tips, DIYs and home remedies. Well, today we are going to talk about a certain kind of vegetable, or would you call it a fruit?
A little more than 2 hours drive from Accra, on the line of the Atlantic Ocean, is St. Augustine's College, Ghana's first Catholic second cycle institution with a great tradition of sound education spanning 95 years. In the education mix is sports. Where massive achievements have been made. These include winning the Central Regional Superzonals competition 14 times. Added to these is the production of some big achievers in international sport for Ghana, including Michael Essien, Matthew Amwa, Bernard Dombote, the late Manuel Junior Agogo, and sprinter Ibrahim Fuseni of the Ghana male sprint team. The achievements of these have not only laid a foundation, but also injected a strong will in the first junior para-athlete to be produced by the college. Welcome to The Audacious Leap, a story of rare discovery, strong will, and inspired hope. Gilbert Ampere was born to parents who mostly are farmers, and the challenge of having a child who was not like everyone was a big one. In a society that has a long way to go regarding championing inclusivity for persons with physical challenges, his parents had a tough task.
Gilbert is my last born, and when the mother was pregnant, I didn't know that Gilbert would have a challenge physical. So when he was born, I was at home and the mother sent somebody to come and call me. So when I approached her mother, he told me Gilbert came with one leg trouble. So I said, okay, anything that will happen, it's a gift of God, so I like it. That's the response I gave her, the mother.
In medical term, it's called paraxial hemimelia. And what it means that, the lower limb, our lower legs, we have two long bones that joins up. The lower end, it joins to the foot, and at the upper end, it joins to the knee joint. Okay, so there are two long bones. One is big and the other is small. The paraxial hemimelia is predominantly a deficiency in development of the two long bones, and invariably is always at the distal end, that is getting to the foot. And the high incident is normally with the smaller long bone, which is called the fibula. We call it, yes, there are two long bones. The tibia, that's the bigger one, and the smaller one is called the fibula. It's normally the smaller one that is deficient, and it's an impairment in the development of that bone. It comes in two variants. Either it's completely not there or it's partially there. And even in that case, where it's partially there, it's normally not functional.
When I was in Form 2, like we were playing volleyball for fun.
Okay.
And my teacher saw that I have the jump to play volleyball.
Okay.
And the teacher discovered that I can do high jump. So he trained me for inter-schools athlete competition. And then I won. After then, we also went for inter-circuit in the Akufo-Addo district. And I also won.
Wow. And that was